Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, from a stormy Athena Games. You might be able to hear it in the background. Welcome to our Wave 6 unboxing for Armada. So we're going to go through both the packs, and I'm joined by Mr. Jonathan Thurf-Clark, one of our regulars.
Hi.
And we're going to go through and have a look at all of the new upgrade cards, new ships.
All the goodies.
All the goodies. So obviously we've got the two in front of us. Jonathan has kindly donated his to be unboxed today.
I've had to wait all day to open them because Elliot wouldn't let me.
Cool. So we might as well get right down to it. So we're gonna go for the Hammerheads first. So we'll leave the light carrier till later. So obviously
I'll leave it up here so people can see it.
Yeah. So
first problems I have with this. Such a big box.
Yeah, it is quite a big box, but we've got basically two small base ships, so they're like Corvette size models. So I can see where they're coming from. Why they're giving us two of them? Because if you've played the game for a little bit, I imagine you've probably picked up two Corvettes, two Raiders, and stuff like that. So I can see where they're coming from. It's just a little bit of a big box, and it's got this weird window in it that's not quite as big as the other windows. It's a little bit confusing, but there we go. So we'll have a look at the models first.
First things first. Here's one for you.
Oh, we got one each. There we go.
I know I was saying earlier about the paint scheme, but now that I can see them up closer,
they're
not as bad as I thought. I do. They are not. Even a little look. There's even tiny little yellow engine glow. Yeah,
they are quite adorable. The Hammerhead, obviously, it got its first little run in the Rebels TV show.
Technically, it originally came from the Old Republic online game, and then that was borrowed for Rebels. If I'm wrong about that, say so in the comments. And then it was obviously canon in Rebels, and then it shot to fame in Rogue One.
Yeah, did some.
Would you like to show that to the camera?
I will indeed show it to the camera.
But yeah, no, they are not as bad as I thought. I think it's just through the plastic and all that. They looked a bit duller and a bit not as much detail, but they're not as bad as I thought.
Obviously, with the smaller ships, there is a little bit of an issue with actually making them because they are so small and they're quite rounded. So I think we can give them. They're nice little models. Yeah, so they're just small base ships.
They sit in quite nicely. There we go.
Hello, Commander Cephalo.
Oh yeah, there's supposed to be a bit of cardboard in there, hence why
that's why it's a bit loose. I was wondering if I'd done something wrong, but yes.
Yeah, I was like, why aren't they going in?
So two bases, two small base ships. Again,
we got any new rules? Oh yeah, we got multiple icon upgrade cards.
Oh yes, we do.
Both for this wave, so it's a new thing for the game.
So another thing, these have contain.
Yeah, so they've got,
which is interesting on a small base ship. I don't think we've had any small base ships with contain. Not even the Imperial's light cruiser?
No.
Yeah, so that's
Cool.
And then the upgrade cards have multiple icons. If you play the game, you've got to have both those icons to affix the upgrade card to your ship.
Cool. Right. So obviously we've got two variants as usual.
Yep.
So we'll start off with the cheap one.
Yep.
So hopefully it should be appearing on screen momentarily.
So
through the power of science and technology. We'll have one each. There we go.
So the first thing I notice, I have my other ship cards here for us to compare and contrast. The first thing I do notice, they are the cheapest of them all.
Let's go through the stats first.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. So the points points of all, and for the points you get, for 36 points for the torpedo Corvette, we get a hull of 5. One black anti-squadron, one command, one squadron, and 2 engineering points. Very basic for a Corvette, for a small base ship.
It's very much similar to the Tantive.
Yeah. Speed of 3, and we get some nice speed stats on here actually on the torpedo one. You get 2 clicks on the one. For speed 2 you get 2 clicks and then 1 click, and then for speed 3 you get 1 click, but no click on your last adjustable point on your movement. No rear
guns.
No rear guns.
So front guns, we got one of each flavour. So we've got a black, a red, and a blue. And then out the port and starboard, we've got black. And then for defence, we've got an evade, a redirect, and a contain.
And for shields, 2 on the front and 1 everywhere else.
Yeah.
So it's a close range knife fighter.
Yeah, and then upgrades, we've got officer, we've got an offensive retrofit, we've got a weapons team, and we've got an ordnance. I think that's all of those ones.
So that's a few nice upgrade choices on it.
And it's 36 points.
36, yeah.
Little 36, little cheapo dude. Obviously, the biggest comparison for these ones is the traditional Corvette, so the Corvette
A and B.
A and B. So what's the cheapest one there? So
the cheapest one is the B, which is 39 points.
So we're 3 points off that. So what are your feelings on this one? Because we're 3 points off a Corvette B.
We are 3 points. I feel it needs. Whereas the Corvette B, all its armament is blue. Everything it fires is blue, so it's more of a standoff attacker, hit and run. This, to me, in order to utilise it to its maximum, it suggests you have to be right in close, which is seems to be why they've given it both the evade and the contain. The evade to get you in close, and then the contain to contain damage. But it lacks survivability for me.
Yeah, you haven't got a brace, so if someone gets a really decent shot off on you at mid close range, you're going to be dead because you've only got 5 hull. But again, with a lot of the rebels, you're not being in close range.
You're not being in close. No.
But it's only got close range guns, and I don't like that the front guns are one of each because it's like a lot of the time. Admittedly, it is very difficult to mitigate 1 damage, but it's just nice to have. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this. I think I'd rather play the 3 points and go up to a Corvette B, because Corvette B can actually go faster than this guy can.
It can do. It can not only can it go faster up to speed 4. You are losing 1 hull, but you're getting more shields. You're getting more attack dice, and you're getting similar. You're getting completely different. Sorry, not similar. You're getting completely different upgrades apart from your officer.
Yeah. So your officer stays.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to feel about this.
I'm sure there are builds for it, and I'm sure there are cards in the upgrade pack that will make it more viable.
But yeah, nothing from the base version. Nothing screams out to me.
Wow, yeah.
Nothing screams out to me and goes, "Oh my god, this is amazing."
Okay, so what about the Scout Corvette?
It's nice that a small ship's got a contain.
It does, yes. It gives it a bit of survivability.
You've only got 2 engineering, so you're not going to be discarding cards.
But with the 1 command, you will be able to.
Yeah, you're going to be able to regen.
Plan every time. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the. I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah. Well, should we move on to the second one?
Yes.
So then we've got for 41 points, so 5 points more. You've got the Hammerhead Scout Corvette. So your stats
exactly the same.
Remain the same
apart from your weapons.
Yeah.
And
so you've now got. Turn my phone off. So you've now got an blue anti-squadron dice.
Yep.
You've got better armament, so you've got 2 red out the front and a blue.
So it's more of a standoffish.
Blue off the side. So yeah, you're playing to the rebels' long range engagements.
And the upgrades are the same, apart from the last one.
You've now got turbo lasers.
Turbo lasers.
Yeah, so that one seems quite nice. It's 41 points.
Which again, when you compare it to the Corvette A is 44 and the Corvette B is 39, it looks very similar to the Corvette A in some regards. With the front die.
I suppose with the difference being is obviously it's a very manoeuvrable ship.
Yeah.
So you're going to have your front guns in all the time.
Yes.
So you're not essentially paying the tax that the Corvette A is for having broadsides or better broadsides. So I suppose it's a benefit. You lose 3 points,
but then you
gain a hull.
Yeah.
You can't go speed 4, which is a shame. But you do gain a contain.
And with those 3 points, you can possibly throw a couple of 1 or 2 little upgrades on there to help your survivability.
I think I prefer this one over the torpedo one. Again,
I do. This one.
It seems a little bit more focused. About what it wants to shoot at and where it wants to be than the torpedo.
This one seems to be the one like we said is something you can use it as a long range sniper.
Yeah.
Or you can come into medium range where your evadability will still come into handy.
Yeah.
I it's a shame it hasn't got a brace. But then again,
Yeah,
not many small base ships have a brace.
A lot of small ships don't have braces,
Yeah.
especially on the rebel side. But yeah, I prefer this one. You've also got a nice anti-squadron armament. You've got one blue, so you can hit things in mid-range. I think that's quite good.
And the fact that you get 2, you can play 2 straight away. So
yeah, because I can easily see these coming into your list, and you just have them bare bones, and you just run them as activation soakers. So you pull your opponent out into whatever range you want, or get them to activate.
Use them as a lure. You get a few pot shots off. Maybe force them to use some of their defense tokens, and then you can activate your heavy hitters.
Obviously, you've also got you can also have TRCs, so turbo laser rewrite circuits, because you've got turbo lasers and you've got an evade. So that's quite nice. So they could put out quite a bit of damage.
So they've in the new FAQ they've just slightly reworded how TRCs work, I believe. Have they not?
I haven't looked at the new FAQ, so I couldn't tell you.
They've done a few things. They've done quite a few things in the new FAQ which are quite interesting, but not really going to affect this.
Yeah.
So our upgrade cards. So first of all, our new commander, Leia Organa, who's coming up from being a crew card, you could upgrade card, to being a full commander. 38 points. What's it do, Chris?
So, when a friendly ship resolves a command by spending a command dial, if it has not resolved another command this round, it may resolve that command as if it was spent a matching command token. If it does, that ship cannot resolve additional commands this round. 38 points. So you basically get the benefit of resolving a command and a command token.
It's quite
as
annoying,
long as you haven't done a command this turn and you can't do another one. Oh, I see. So yeah, so you can't resolve your dial and get the bonus if you've resolved a command token.
Right.
There we go. So she's sort of she's in the bands as Grand Moff Tarkin, so one of the most expensive commanders. That's quite cool, actually. That's quite nice.
She's 38 points, same as Akbar.
Same as Akbar. That's quite nice. However, there is a lot of token efficiency in the Rebels.
There is.
And stopping you from using that one is a little bit... Because obviously there's lots of stuff like... what's the officer card that lets you... What's one of the... is it Ramus Antilles?
I believe so.
You get the matching command token. When
yes,
you
I believe
dial.
you're correct. You reveal your dial, you get the command token.
So you can't stack those abilities and have a stupid amount of commands in one turn.
No, Ramus Antilles, 7 points. When you reveal a command, you may gain one matching command token without spending the command dial.
Yeah. But that's quite a powerful ability. Like so much flexibility, and obviously she affects your whole fleet rather than Ramus Antilles only affecting one ship. So she's really cool. Like she's definitely going to see some play. She's quite a hefty point at 38 points. It's quite a lot. But the amount of versatility she's going to give to a force is...
It depends on the player. If this is for certain players, this is going to be fantastic. For the shrewder players, the one who are thinking more long term. For players who are more about getting in there, hitting them hard, hitting them first. I don't see. I can't see it getting as much play as Akbar.
Again, it also depends what ships you're bringing, because Akbar likes a particular style of ship.
He does. That is true.
With the Hammerheads, the Hammerheads are not going to see play with Akbar.
No, they are not.
You're just going to go for Corvettes.
That's what I mean. If you're going to field a big ship list, MC-80s.
Even then,
torpedo Corvettes.
She could see play with any style of ship.
I suppose, but
because if you're going,
it's something I would need to play with a couple of times to see if my playstyle would match. That's what I'm saying. Depending on your playstyle,
I don't think playstyle affects it. It's just a flat buff. That's like whatever you're playing. If you're playing a high speed list, you're like, cool. I've got a command. I've got a navigate command and a command token. So that's 2 speed changes and extra clicks.
That is true.
So,
funny you mentioned speed
really
changes. That might explain why these are in here.
So what's this? We got. So you want to go through? Do you want to go through?
Yeah,
them
we'll
in
go through
order?
them in order. But I'm just saying that bring them out for that. But yeah, so next we get Hondo Onaka. He's 2 points. At the start of the ship phase, you may discard this card to choose 2 different command tokens and place them on 2 different ships. Then your opponent chooses 2 different command tokens you did not choose and places them on 2 different ships.
It's all right.
It's all right. It's thematic for his character, he's playing both sides.
If you've got 2 points to spend on a random officer,
maybe. And I mean, he's 1 shot only, but it doesn't say at the start of the first. You can choose him whenever you want. And
I suppose you could get quite a. He could give you quite an advantage if you just went concentrate fire engineering. Then your opponent has to choose navigation and squadrons.
Yeah.
Because I'd probably say that. Well, yeah, it's going to give you some kind of advantage, and it could just do nothing for you. Or
well, it might be good if you're working. So, like you said, if you're going up against an opponent who's light on squadrons and his ships aren't that fast,
you can just give him tokens that he's not going to
use. Fortunately, it's very if you are going to play it, you have to play him very tactically because he is 1 use only.
Yeah, I think he could definitely see some play.
You'll see some play again.
At the end of the day, he's just the guy you pop and you get 2 tokens. And
he is, but
that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Yeah, you just have to be very careful because you might end up giving your opponent the tokens they need. That's the only.
Yeah.
Then we come to our first of our dual upgrade cards.
Yeah, so we've got Sham
Syndulla. From Rebels. The father of one of the main characters of Rebels, actually. When you reveal a command, you may discard a squadron dial or token, plus this card to choose 1 enemy ship at close range. If you do, you may choose a new command for each commander.
You have to discard this card.
Or token, and this you may discard this
card. Yeah, sorry, yeah. To choose 1 enemy ship at range, close range, and if you do,
you may choose a new command up for each dial assigned to that ship. So that's quite a powerful. It's 5 points, but that's quite a powerful ability. If you can get up close to a Star Destroyer, you can suddenly kill.
It also says say friendly on enemy, so it works on yours.
That is true.
So yeah.
No, 1 enemy ship.
Oh, is it 8 enemy?
To choose 1 enemy ship. So yeah, choose 1 enemy ship. So yeah, it's quite a powerful ability. Again, might be helpful against bigger ships. Small. It will be helpful against putting. It is 1 shot. That is the only downside. It is 1 shot.
Well, it's going to be useful against any ship ever. It does involve you being at close range, though.
It does,
and it's 5 points. But it is 5 points to completely disrupt someone's plans, which is pretty good. Then can cost someone the game. So
and if you can do that, if you can get close enough to say an Imperial Star Destroyer and do that. You can suddenly change their plans for the next 3 turns.
Yeah, but so he's weapons and an offensive upgrade. Yeah. So if you have both of those, you can take him.
Then we get the second of our dual upgrade cards. You get 2 copies of this for 2 points. Boarding Engineers, and I know you've been quite excited about these.
Boarding Engineers.
Or is it Boarding Teams?
I think it's Boarding Teams. Boarding Teams quite fun. It's just quite fluffy. So when you reveal a command, you may discard a squadron dial or token and this card to choose 1 enemy ship at close range. Look at its face down damage cards and flip a number of them face up to your engineering value 1 at a time. So you've got 2 of those. They're 2 points. That's really cool.
That's really.
I like that.
I like that. I can see why they've come in with these, because if these are designed to get in close, if some of the other cards in here let you get them in close, 2 engineering points allow you to do that. But at the same time, imagine having some of these on a big boy with 4 or 5 engineering points. You can suddenly flip up 5.
Again, it does involve you being close to someone, and that's not traditionally what the Rebels do.
So it does, but at the same time, can you imagine using them? Say you've hit someone with a crit, they've taken a double damage card, flipped it face down. You can flip that back face up. They have to take another double damage card, another damage card as well.
Yeah, that's true. But obviously, there are a lot of really crippling damage cards.
There are as well. So you can I think what they're called engineers is not only can you flip them face up, you can choose which ones you want to, which are going to benefit you to the greatest extent. If suddenly you're like, I need to get in close to finish him off. Oh, look at this! I can reduce his armament, or I can reduce his speed, or I can force him to do something he doesn't want to do.
Just straight, as you said, you could just flip.
Or flip extra damage. You know, these are nice. And for 2 points...
yeah, they're 2 points.
For 2 points, they're fantastic. And thematically, they work with the rebels.
So I'm wondering if you can flip the double damage one multiple times. That's an interesting question.
It says one at a time, and then...
Well, it does say one at a time. So you flip face up, they get dealt a card. Flip face down,
again.
flip it up, down. So it's... I don't know.
That's something that will be FAQ'd if it hasn't been already.
If you can do that.
Then the next ones that did come next were these quad battery turrets. You get, again, 2 copies of them. They're a modification, so you can only have one. Only one modification per ship. These are quite nice. So I'm liking these. 5 points. While attacking a ship with a higher speed than yours, you may add 1 blue die to your attack pool.
Ooh, I like that.
It isn't range specific. It can be up to long range. Suddenly, if you throw these on either of your Corvettes, you can suddenly throw your front die up to 4, your side arcs to 2.
Yeah, that's quite nice. That's a... Yeah.
You can,
it is taking up turbo lasers if you want TRC. It's only going on Scout Corvette as well.
It is, yeah, I've just realised that. Yeah. It will only be going on your Scout Corvette, but that makes more sense for the armament that's already on the Scout Corvette. The other things with these as well is as soon as that blue die goes in there, if you have a concentrate fire command, you can throw another one in there. So all of a sudden, on a Scout Corvette at medium range, attacking something going faster than you, you could potentially fire 5 die out your front arc.
That's higher speed than yours. Oh, okay. I thought if you were higher speed. Okay. No, that's really cool.
And then when you're fighting against someone such as a fleet that has Ozzel in it, that is constantly can jump up and down double speed bands, that might be very helpful.
Yeah. Well, also, if you go back to Leia, if you do your navigate command, you can knock yourself down by 2 speeds and get yourself extra dice. So it definitely it's a really cool universal one, but because the Imperial's going to love this.
It does, yes, I believe it does come in this one as well.
The Imperial's going to like this. It's got lots of turbo laser slots and
Rebels are all about moving fast and hard.
Yeah. But yeah, with Leia, you could drop your speed down twice. You're going to get your extra click, and you're going to get extra dice against someone.
Then we get next card is external racks. It's a missile card, so these will only go on the torpedo Corvette. Card for 3 points. While attacking at close range, you may discard this card to add 2 blacker dice to your attack pool. So you won't be able to do it out aft because you can't attack from your aft arc, but you can use them on your side. Your side arcs can suddenly jump up to 3. It is one shot, but 3.
I don't like these.
Your front can jump up to 6 if you had a concentrate fire, and excluding your side to 4. It is a one shot. There is a problem with that for 3 points.
But
you'd have to build your list very carefully around them.
Again, it involves, with the Rebels at least, it involves getting close.
It does, and you're
not gonna, if you're using this specifically on the Corvette, you're not going to survive getting close. And if this is a kill shot, then sure.
Yes.
But if it's just, I need to do more damage to this guy. If he lives till next turn, he's going to turn around and just destroy you. And
I know they're 10 points, but I still say ACM. If you have a torpedo slot with black, ACM.
You've also got ACM. You've got what's the one that lets you have 1 more black dice out the side?
Expanded launches.
Expanded launches out the front.
Out the
rapid
side.
Reload is out the side.
Yes, that is. Yeah. Which are
and you've also
13
got
points,
flechette torpedoes.
8 points flechette torpedoes against
protons. I think all of the ordnance is just better than this. Admittedly, it's more expensive, but I don't like those.
Sorry, 7 points for ACM. Yeah, I don't know. What do we have next? Next we have the title cards.
We have got
right. So we have one.
So it's unique. Yeah. So we've got Guardrail's Honour?
Garel's Honour. For 4 points. When you overlap an enemy ship, the enemy ship suffers a face-up damage card instead of a face-down damage card. So very much
this is quite fun.
Homage to the one in Rogue One. So you'll smash into... So if you smash into a flotilla, which would take an automatic damage anyway, they now take an automatic crit.
Well, with a flotilla, they take damage.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So they will take a crit. The other thing about this is it's designed. I believe this one is definitely designed to go on the torpedo corvette. Get you in close, hit something.
Yeah.
Suffer as much damage as they can.
It's a nice little gimmick, but I don't think it will see very much play.
It might see it play once or twice just to see how it plays out. But
yeah, but you don't want to be close. You don't want to be close to people.
You don't,
because they will destroy. Again, it's very much like the other title for the not Vector. What's the other title called for the
Gazantes?
Gazantes.
That is Suppressor.
Yes, Suppressors. Suppressors a similar thing where it's you make them discard one of their
exhaust one of its
defense tokens. But again, it involves you being
distance 1 to 3
close to them, and yeah. So then we've got 2 non-unique titles. So we've got Task Force Antilles and Task Force Organa.
Yep.
So we'll do Task Force Antilles first.
Yes.
So when you suffer damage from an attack, you may exhaust. You may choose and exhaust a copy of this card on another friendly ship at range 1 to 3. If you do, the ship suffers one of your damage instead. While this card is exhausted, you cannot spend engineering points. So that's a bit different. That's quite cool. Sort of goes with the set as you've got 2 of them.
Yep. 3 points.
So that's 3 points.
But that'll be 3 points for each ship.
Yeah. So that's 3 points for each ship, and you have to be they have to be close to you. But it's nice. Nice bit of damage mitigation.
At the same time, what I'm seeing with these ships is they're designed to be flown in more than 2, especially with something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, and then we've got Task Force Organa
for 1 point.
1 point, which is while attacking, you may choose and exhaust a copy of this card on another friendly ship at distance 1 to 3 to reroll up to 2 of your attack dice. While this card is exhausted, you cannot attack ships. So that one's pretty good for 1 point.
It seems to me that Organa's meant to go with the scout corvette, more standoff and attack, while Antilles is meant to go with the torpedo corvettes to get in close. I mean, okay, there's some cards in here that make them
it's a bit
slightly better, but I still, even after looking for all this, most of these cards you'd throw on something else. I still don't
I
see their full place yet.
I quite like them. I quite like the Scout Corvette.
It is nice for.
I think it's quite a nice alternative to the Tantive actually.
And I'll be honest as well.
I think that contain makes a lot of difference. The containing the extra hull point makes a lot of difference.
And if I can find it, if you look, it is more in line. Yeah, it's 10 points cheaper. No, in fact, it's up to 10 to 14 points cheaper. Yes, you have to be in slightly closer, but it's more like a long-range sniper, but a cheaper version of the Nebulon.
But we've already seen ways to give it more dice easy with the quad battery turrets.
Yeah.
So I quite like that. I think if I was going to play the game, I'd go for the Scout Corvettes.
Yes, definitely.
Because it definitely goes towards the.
It's like
another thing with these cards that's quite important is that it's another friendly ship. So if that ship hasn't activated and you exhaust its card, it can't attack with Task Force Organa, and with Antilles, it can't use engineering
points.
So that is quite important, but you can easily have one that's the point man and the other one that's sort of backing him up.
Yeah.
And then you could just re-roll your dice, because re-rolling 2 dice is pretty damn good. And then you could alternate between the 2.
Yeah.
So after that, I quite like that. Again, I prefer the Scout Corvette. I do. I think Leia is definitely going to see some play, because that's a really super powerful ability.
It allows you to double stack, and I can see the ability, but and
again, the
something
Rebels,
I would personally need to play with to see how it plays out.
Yeah, and the Rebels, they got lots of versatility, so you don't have to invest in those like Ramus and Antilles and stuff like that. You don't have to start investing in those titles and stuff like that. You can just be like, everyone has it. I can go and focus my upgrade counts on other stuff. Or you could spend less on upgrades and bring more stuff. So bring more ships, which definitely would benefit the Rebels. So after reading that, after going through all that stuff,
and yes, you're getting a few more. She is quite high in cost, but then you won't need to throw Ramus Antilles on one of your ships. So you're throwing up 7 points
so you're also freeing up your officer slot, and you've got like the generic captains, which are like change your next dial to an engineering, so engineering captain, stuff like that.
Hi everyone. Because you weren't convinced about this upgrade pack.
Yeah, I
you?
wasn't convinced about the upgrade pack when I saw it, because I didn't. From having a look at the spoiler article, I looked at chips and I was like, not quite sure what they're for. I think they're just a nice.
You sound more convinced now.
Yeah, I'm more convinced. Again, I don't like the torpedo, so the cheaper version. I'm not sure on that. But
It's
I like,
almost like the Raider, which you have one that's designed to be a sort of torpedo carrier, but again, survivability. It's just
survivability. These small ships, they want to stay away from people. Their defense tokens are pointing towards that, and I think it's worth spending the 5 points, because you're gonna get your armament, your armament for anti-squadron and shooting ships improves exponentially, and it opens you up to the turbo laser upgrade, which is going to make these guys even better than they already are. But no, yeah, I like that. I think if you had 2 scout corvettes and perhaps Task Force or Ghana, I think Task Force or Ghana or Antilles would be good. I think either of them are good, because damage mitigation is always nice.
Oh yeah, damage mitigation is definitely good,
especially on ships that have got so few hull and don't have the greatest defense tokens. Especially if someone steams you to range 1, and if it's going to keep you alive, then yeah, exhaust that other turn. It's like, well, that guy over there who's got no damage is going to take 1. I'll take 4. I won't die. So yeah, I'm a bit more convinced about those. That's quite enough.
Well then, let's see, because you with the light carrier, which we'll be opening up next, you mentioned you could see the point of that.
Yeah.
Let's turn around and see if this is the opposite. Maybe this will turn around and you'll be like, oh, maybe that isn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
So yeah, the light carrier is the first proper carrier we've got in the game.
Yes.
Which is